We have one mission here in Herbalife, if you haven't recognized it. It is making a better world for people to live in, taking better nutrition to the world, okay? That is our mission statement, okay? The way we do our business is becoming extremely, not only a great way to do business, but it's what I call the average person's best chance of ever being able to start their own business. Where else are you going to go to start your own business and be your own boss? Even if you were going to start a beauty salon, it would take you $25,000 or $100,000, and most of the time, write this down, 98%, this is the figures, 98% of most businesses go out of business the first year. So you got your money, the chances are it's going to go out of business, and who's going to support you? We take all that out of the risk for you at Herbalife. $100 to get your distributor kit or less or more, whatever area that you're in, and you get product, you get to look good, you get to feel good, okay? You get the marketing plan of the century. We handle most of your inventory needs for you. We write all your checks to your salespeople. We manage the whole deal for you on exciting you and exciting your organization, okay? And all you got to do is go out and talk to people about the products and talk to people about the opportunity, and Herbalife manages the rest. That's all you got to do. That's called the average person's best chance of ever being able to make it. And it's one of the reasons we got so many people making it in Herbalife, because we got the greatest products in the world, we got the greatest marketing plan in the world, okay? We got the greatest opportunity of the century with worldwide marketing. We got better leadership than any company out there. We got more enthusiastic, young, good-looking distributors of any company in the world. And that's what you want. A business that anybody can do. And the more simple what you say is to say, more people will say it and more people will do it, okay? And so it's important to keep, there's nothing that I don't do that's extremely simple. And I can make it more complicated. I know more about the stuff than what I just said, but I'm not going to say that because, number one, it's going to take me longer to say it, so I'm going to make less money per hour. Plus, the people that I get in, it's going to be more complicated to say. And what I want is a business for everybody to say it, no matter where they're from, or what country they live in, or what language they speak, or what kind of background they have, or what kind of color of skin that they've got, or what kind of religious beliefs they've got, that everybody can do it. And the most unbelievable thing today in Herbalife is we got everybody, okay? We didn't have that back in the beginning of the company. It's amazing what's happening today in our business. We have people that used to be school teachers, okay? School teachers that make $500 a month in our company. Some of them make $250,000, and I got one of them that made $3.5 million last year, living in her beautiful mansion in Hawaii. It's unbelievable, okay? I got a truck driver, okay, I was with the other day in Texas, okay, and we got truck drivers that make $500 a month in Herbalife, and we got them that make $100,000 a year in Herbalife, and the one I was with the other day, she was showing me her pictures of her 480-acre ranch, okay, that she's got, and by the way, when I first met her, she not only looked like a truck driver, she acted like a truck driver, okay, and we had to tell her to dress, okay, like not a dress, like a truck driver, and shave her legs and everything like that, you know, and and get out of her fatigues and stuff like that. And last year, she made $1,700,000, okay? $1,700,000. Okay? We got housewives in our company, housewives, okay? And some of our housewives are making $500, and some of them are making $250,000. And I got a housewife that speaks Japanese that made $4 million last year.
Isn't that unbelievable? And from there, we've even got doctors today, okay, that are on the president's team, okay, that are making almost $1 million a year. And the most unbelievable thing is we even got lawyers in the company. That's amazing. And we got some lawyers that make $500 a month, and we got lawyers that make $100,000 a year, and we have one last year that made over $4 million, okay, as a lawyer, okay? And if you can get lawyers doing it, it's really unbelievable, okay? And so everybody, okay, everybody's doing it. The product is so amazing, and the testimonials are so amazing that we just really don't have to say all that much. Get them on it, get the money, and let them have the results, and the results do what? Speak for themselves, because as they go walking down the street, everybody's going to notice what's going on, and then they just say stuff that's simple like you, and they start making money, and everything is fun, and it's simple, and it seems like magic, okay? And that's what's really important. See, as long as you keep it flexible and it stays within the concept, that's important, because then you're able to get anybody. And that means when I say talk about this philosophy, I'm very serious about it, okay? Because anything that you do outside of the norm, okay, other than using, wearing, and talking, you're going to make a serious mistake. Making anything other than the issue of those three things, and you're going to make a mistake. It's keeping yourself excited, okay, is what's the most important. And when you're getting that weight down, you get excited, and you get more confident, and you get more courage, okay? And that confidence and that courage and that feeling that you love about the products is what transmits to people, okay? It's not always so much what you say about the products that's important. It's how you feel about what you say about these products that's so important. And people read that. Don't you think that they can't? It's what's in your eyes. It's how in your voice. It's in your heart. Okay? That is what people believe in. There is no company that's going on a worldwide basis the way that we are and allowing their distributors to earn cash on every one of those companies on a worldwide basis. There is nobody else doing that. And we need to understand that there's some difficulties with that. There's some problems with that. And also, the bigger the problem, the bigger the paycheck. Having faith in the company. Have faith in yourself. Have faith in the products. Have faith in us, because we're going to do the most unbelievable things you've ever seen in business history, okay? And the way I kind of see Herbalife someday in the future, okay, is kind of like, if you can imagine coffee and tea, okay, of hundreds and hundreds of years ago, okay? Nobody really thought coffee was going to be that big a deal and stuff like that. But today, what's the deal, okay? Even if you don't drink coffee, you have to have coffee in your house. And the reason you have to have coffee in your house is you want to be a good host, so that when people come over and say, well, what would you like to drink? They would say, well, I'd like to have some coffee. And it's kind of the way I see Herbalife. We're not that big yet, but someday when we get huge, you have to have Herbalife in your house.
And there's no joke about that we're going to do $5 billion. We're going to do it. $5 billion, $5 billion, $5 billion, $5 billion. $5 billion. $5 billion. $5 billion. Yeah. Now, just think about it. At $5 billion, who's that business going to be under? Make up your choice, because we're going to $5 billion whether you like it or not. Ethics are ethics, okay? And we got to not only protect us, okay, but you got to protect everybody in the room, because as a unit, we can become 5 billion. As a unit, we can get to 10 billion. As a unit, we can get to 15 billion. And we'll be the kind of companies that we want our children to respect and their children to respect. Why is Herbalife so different than all the rest of the multi-level companies? The product. It's the passion that all of our people have about the products. Here's a second big secret in Herbalife. And this is not something that's taught. It's something that you experience. Why was it that Mark Hughes didn't conduct this entire training class for 2 days? I could have been the star of this show for 2 days. I got it in me, by the way, to talk for 2 straight days about Herbalife. Got it in me. Don't know if my voice has got it in me, but okay, I could talk for 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, 25 days about Herbalife. So why did I not get up here and talk for 2 straight days to you guys and become the star of the show? Because let me tell you one of the secrets in Herbalife. It's a big secret, big secret. It's the different stories in Herbalife that affect people. See, it's not one story. See, why would I just not get up here and try to put the giant Herbalife whammy on every one of you, okay? I can put the whammy on all of you. I can put the Herbalife fairy dust on all of you. But you know what? There's each and every one of you, there's somebody that was up here over these last couple of days that you said, God dang it, that was incredible what that person said. And they got you. Why wasn't every single person the 3-piece suit, red tie type person? Why did we have one person like a dentist that got up there and did a marvelous job? And then you got a completely different opposite couple like Bill and Clem Heron. I'm telling you, there's only a few things that I've done consistently over the years in Herbalife. I've used the products, write that down. I wore my button. We sell the product. We recruit people into the company, asking people if they would like this opportunity, if they'd like to make $300 a month. Great. And treat them like gold. Write that down. See, some people are just looking for the guy who's going to make millions. No, we don't need we only need a few people to make millions. We need a lot of people out there that are going to want to make $300 a month. And by the way, it is all your choice. The products are the same for everybody here today. The marketing plan is going to be the same for everybody today. We don't make a different one for the boys than we do the girls, okay? But if you want to make $500 here today, one of the great things is in Herbalife, you're going to get treated great. Because see, your sponsor, like different companies, most companies, when you're climbing up the ladder and you're getting really good, your boss doesn't want you to get too good because you might take their job. Here in Herbalife, the great thing is you climb up the ladder and you get richer, your sponsor gets richer. And everybody's getting richer together. And so everybody's going, let's get rich, let's go. And what I concentrated on, and this is very important, write this one down. I concentrated most of my efforts on getting him to use the product. See, most people miss the first step. They go right to recruiting, 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 recruiting. No, that's not what this is about. This is about, number one, you getting excited about the product. And then how many people you get on the product that get excited that sell the product, that get excited that sell the product, that get excited that sell the product. See, that's what it's about. But you can't miss, use the product. So Eric got on it, started giving me referrals, and from there, it's made history, okay? That line of business, when you look from Eric Nimmer down through infinity today, it's unbelievable, okay, is doing around $20 million a month. That's unbelievable.
You know, the most important thing that I could say is, you know, if you keep to the plan that we've talked about here of keeping the business simple and keeping the product simple, using mostly the testimonials, keeping your opportunity meetings simple, keeping the business part of it simple, and doing 10 people a day to get 2 people to work down line with them. Help your people, just don't leave them alone, send them off to the meetings. Those are the most important thing. Besides that, it's going to be consistency, doing this day after day after day, okay? You're going to have some good days, and you're going to have some unbelievable days, okay? And going through the bad days are just as important as going through the good days, okay? It makes you a stronger person. It makes you more of a better person to get through the times that are rough in your life, not just with Herbalife, but your own personal life.
So what's the secret? It's nothing against Dennis. That's nothing bragging about Bill and Clem. It's nothing about John Tartle. It's nothing about any one of the guys, or Alan Lorenz. It's a secret. It's a secret called using everybody to your advantage to get everybody in. For them to say, hey, if that person can do it, I can do it. Now that is a serious secret, whether you know it or not. Some of you are in your little areas and you're trying to build your business completely around yourself. And you're doing everything yourself. You're doing the meetings yourself. You're doing the marketing plans yourself. You're doing your product trainings yourself. You're doing every single thing you can possibly yourself. And the reason is because you're a little better at it than your people. Hey, well, listen, I think I'm a little bit better than some of my people too. But I got the brains to understand that a lot of you don't think that you can become like Mark Hughes. Even though I tell you my little dinky story of where I started. Even though I tell you about my little distributor kit and my little can and my little office that you guys all saw and all that. After I've told you my entire deal, still, I didn't affect you as much as some of the people that got up on this stage that you said, God dang it, if those guys can do it, I'll get rich. That's a secret. Now put that down in your notes. It's a secret. You guys need to start using your people. You start needing to use all the people around you. Some of you are caught up in the attitudes and the different personalities of your people. Listen, some of those personalities may get some of the people in your room. Use them. I had this guy in my business in the beginning. He used to push, and he used to make everybody so upset, so aggravated, so angry that everybody wanted out of his line at the end of the week. There wasn't anybody that didn't need a parachute to jump out of an airplane and crash. This guy would burn up people faster than you could shake a stick at. And you know what? I used to use him as my biggest advantage. You know why? Because he was making $5,000 a month at the time. And I said, listen, if this guy can make $5,000 a month with everybody in his organization hating him, imagine how much money you could make if you got people to like you. Use your people. Entering into the Herbalife game, okay? And with all games, okay, with all games, there are certain rules that you play when you play the game. And if you know the rules of the game good enough, you can win the game. Okay? And so we're going to take Herbalife and play it like it's a game here today and see how it works. Okay? Because once you know how to play the game of Herbalife, it's unbelievable if you know the game and you know what the rules are. And as long as you follow the rules, you can win the game. And in Herbalife, as long as you follow the game, you can go anywhere that you want to because it's your own financial decision on how much you want to work and play the game.
You see, if you want to stay at the supervisor, you can be a supervisor forever in Herbalife, forever. And we will love you. Forever. Forever, we will love you. If you want to be a world team member, okay, and you want to be a world team member forever, we will love you forever. Forever. And if you want to be a Get Team member, you can be a Get Team member, and we will love you forever. We will love you. And the same thing at Millionaire Team and President's Team and Chairman's Club and Founder's Circle, because everybody, okay, everybody in the room makes up the taking good nutrition around the world, okay? And for you, it's your own decision on how much you want to talk, because there's use the products, wear the button, and then there's talking to people. And it's how many people that you talk to that really is the game of Herbalife, because when you're talking to people, everything is a percentage of everything. In other words, when you talk to people about the product, there's going to be a certain percentage of the people that you talk to on the product that are going to say, no, I don't want to buy the products. And by the way, when they say no, they don't mean no. Okay? The most reason why people will say no to you, okay, and when you're new, you take this personally. When they say no to you, it doesn't mean that you're new and you don't know the presentation, so that's why they don't buy. Okay? The reason why people most don't buy, okay, is the fact that they've tried 5 things before, okay, or 6 or 7 things before, and they just don't have it in them to try one more time. You see, and that's why we like you to use the products and come to the meetings and see the testimonials, so that you feel so strong about the products that that feeling comes across to them, okay, and maybe that feeling gets them to try one more time, okay? So when someone says no to you, don't take it so personal, okay, because at a point, you can only get so good about what you say about the Herbalife products, okay? You can only get so good. So some people are going to say no, and then some people are going to say yes. And out of the people that say yes, some of them are going to give you referrals, and then some of them are going to become your best distributors that you've ever gotten in the business. When you come down to the basics of the business, everything's about ring, ring. Now, when I say ring, ring, that means something that you're doing to talk to people, okay? No matter what it is. We can talk about all the methods all day long, but everything is a percentage of everything. So it doesn't make any difference what you do. What's important is that you're clear on what you need to do. And what you need to do is talk to enough people every single day so you can get ring, ring going on. Because if you got ring, ring going on, you're going to talk to a certain amount of people that say yes, and a certain amount of people are going to join. First line. Then there's going to be a certain amount of the people that you sign up first line that are going to go to supervisor. And there's going to be a certain amount of people that go to supervisor, get with the deal and say, I'm going to get on to the world team. And a certain amount of the people that get the world team are going to go to the get team. And a certain amount of the people that get the get team are going to get the millionaire team. And a certain amount of the percentage of the people that get the millionaire team are going to go president's team. And all you've got to do is keep doing this ring, ring, sponsor, sponsor, supervisor, supervisor. This will get you your 5 legs eventually to get the chairman's club. And that's all it is. Your percentages always increase when you got momentum going on. If you're only out here and you're sponsoring 1 or 2 people a month or 6 or 7 people a year, listen, the percentages of people going, wow, this is incredible, wow, this is unbelievable, let's get in, it's hot, let's go to the get team, are small. But when you're out here doing it all the time, and you start getting momentum, and it looks like everything's happening, and your check's going every month, okay? People say it's going, it's happening, it's clear, I need to sign up, I need to get in now, I need to go to get team. So your percentages, write this down, increase when you have momentum. Write that down. That means it's actually easier when you're working harder.
I'm telling you, this is an hour conversation with this guy in the back of the room in Japan, trying to figure it out. He's making $1 million. What's the secret? What's the secret? What's the secret? Do it again. And then do it again. That's the secret. And you should have seen the look on his face. It was like I had just given him, oh, that's how I go to 2 million? You mean that's how I go to 3 million? That's how I go to 4? I said, yes. He says, okay, I'll do it. It was amazing. Yeah, that's the little secret. Just do it some more. And stick around no matter what level it is that you're at. Do it some more. Over and over and over and over and over. And I know you guys have heard that over and over and over and over again, haven't you? Well, you're going to hear that over and over and over and over and over again until you get it that all you got to do is keep doing it over and over and over and over again. Because that's what it's about. Doing it over.
If we really want to play the Herbalife game and do it fast, okay? Now, what I'm telling you here is not for everybody, okay? I'm gonna talk to you for the next half an hour, okay, as if everybody in the room wants to get rich, okay? How many people would like to be on the president's team? Got 2 hands up, yeah. Everybody, okay? Now, I'm going to teach you how to get on the president's team, okay? And there's only a couple of secrets about getting there, okay? And you're all going to learn this all. This next half an hour is the most important half an hour of all the time that we spent with you, okay? Now, I know we've been here for a long time, and I know sitting this way for a lot of you, this is new, okay? But now's not the time to tune out, okay? Now's the time to tune in and listen, because this is the most important half an hour of playing the game of the Herbalife, okay? And so now we're going to enter the game of getting into the president's team, okay? And the first rule here is talking to 10 people a day about the business. 10 people a day about the business that you invite to take a look at the business. You're going out and you're talking to 10 people a day that you're inviting them down to take a look at the business a day. Now, where you invite them to is irrelevant. You can invite them to your home, great. You can invite them to your local church. If your local church will let you use the church, great. You could use the local office if you have an office, or you could use what most of you probably are doing, the local hotels and so on and so forth. And how many are now going to Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday concept? Okay? To opportunity meetings, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Okay? Good. Almost everybody in the room. Great. So you're talking to 10 people a day about the business to come down to the opportunity meeting to take a look. Okay? Now, let's say that we're going to give you 2 days off a month, okay? Because we're 2 days a week off per month, per week, I'm sorry, because we're a good company.
So that would be, if we gave you 2 days off per week, okay, times the 4 weeks, that would be 22 days that you would be doing this, 10 days, talking to 10 people a day. That's 220 people that you would have talked to during the month. Now, how many of you out here, if you talk to 10 people to come to the meetings, okay, no, let's even make it better than that. How many of you, if you talk to 5 people to come to the meeting, would get at least 1 to show up? You talk to 5 people, 1 show up. Good, everybody, okay? So that means if you talk to 220 people during the month, that means that 50 people would have come down to the opportunity meeting. Now let's see this. How many of you, if you had 5 people at the opportunity meeting, would get at least 1 to sign up out of the 5? Good, everybody, okay? Because these are the reason I'm making this plan this way is because everybody's going to score a lot better than what I put down here, okay? Because what I want you to do is do the job, and then after you do the job, I've told you how much money you make, and you make more than what I tell you. That way you're happy with what I told you, okay? So that means you would have signed up 10 distributors a month. Now, when you're first getting started, your odds will probably be better with your family and your friends and the people that you work with and so on, okay? Your odds will be much better with those people than once you go through your circle of influence and then you start doing the mundane things of regular doing business, okay? And in your manual, okay, on page, I think it's 24, here in Japan. It might be 26. It's in different pages in different countries. But go to the Who Do You Know list in your manuals, okay? Because whenever you tell someone, okay, let's make a list of everybody that you know, most people only put down 5 or 6 people that they know. That's why you want to use the Who Do You Know list. Because the Who Do You Know list has everybody that you know that you're not thinking of. It's got the mailman. It's got your dentist. It's got the person that does your dry cleaning. It's got the person that cleans your dog. It's got the teacher of your children. It's got the local church leader at your church. It's got everybody that you're not thinking of, okay, to lose weight and to make money, all right? So you want to use the Who Do You Know list, okay, first to make up your list. And you're probably going to do extremely good with your friends and your family and your coworkers and so on, okay, other than the way I did. Because what sells people 75% to get into the company is the testimonials. Now, when I got going, I was a good salesperson. But what I was lacking was the testimonials. So consequently, I had to sign up lots of people to get very little results. In my case, I signed up 196 people the first 6 months in the company. And out of those 196 people, only 16 people became supervisors. And now 10 of those people are on the president's team. So, the reason why I like to have the plan that says talk to 10 people a day, okay, is because once you get past your family and your relatives and your neighbors and so on, I have found, and now this may not be true for you, but I have found that when you're wearing your button and you're just going out and talking to people, giving them their business card, and you're eating dinner and you get in conversation with the person next to you, or whatever it is that you're doing to make conversation, to open the door, to talk about Herbalife, to invite them down to the meeting, your odds are a little bit different than when you're talking to friendly people such as your family and your friends and your relatives. So the reason why I like 10 is because everything becomes a percentage of everything. Now, right now, the worldwide average for the company is every 10 applications that come in, 2 supervisors get gotten. That's the worldwide average. Now, I want to really key in on these 2 supervisors, okay? And this is the real crux of the training class. We're gonna go into high gear here now, and this is the most special part of the day that I'm training you on. I trained you first, the product was the most important. I trained you second, that it was the simplicity of what I do. I trained you third, the follow-up was very important. Now I'm going to teach you the game of how you get distributors, and then what you do with distributors, and then how to promote them to come to the events. This is the last couple of things that are the most important. When you're talking to 10 people a day, and it gives you the 220 people to talk to, and now 50 people are coming down and taking a look, and you get 10 people first line that you talk to, you're going to probably end up with 2 supervisors. But long story short, if you end up with 50 customers, minimum, you're going to end up with 6 supervisors from your customers. And if you've broken 2 supervisors out of these 10 people that you recruited first line, and you do that for 12 months, that's 24 supervisors. So if you've got 24 supervisors in the next year, plus 6 supervisors from your customers, that's 30 supervisors for this next 12-month period. Now, if you do that, you're going to make a minimum of $50,000. Minimum. That's U.S., so that would be 50,000. That would be $5 million that you would make this year, minimum. We're all going to make more money than that, and we're going to do a spot check on that in a second. The next year, let's say you do the exact same thing, and you get another 30 first-line supervisors. That's 60 first-line supervisors. Now, here's the thing. See, a certain percentage of the people that you get as distributors are going to become supervisors. A certain percentage of the supervisors are going to get to the world team. Now, let's just ask some of the people down here. If you had 60 first-line supervisors, how many would get to world team? Probably about 20. Everybody thinks about 20. Let's say only 5 get to the world team. Okay? Now, out of 60 first-line supervisors, how many get team will we get? Probably 5 world team. Let's say only 2 get to the world team. Okay? And let's just say only 1 get to the president's team. Okay? Because everything's a percentage of everything. The first thing you want to do is build wide, then you want to build deep. This is the game of Herbalife. Okay? In this plan that I just made up for you here, you will have then made president's team yourself. That's number 1. And you will have made a minimum of $125,000 US dollars. So let's get with it. This is a concept, all right? Because lots of people, they put the pitch on someone. First of all, when you're going out, you put the best presentation that you've ever made in your entire life on the person, okay? You do the best at inviting them, and when you're doing your meetings, you do the best meetings that you've ever had, ever in the history of the company. And the reason that you do your best every time is you never know who's going to be your next world team or get team or millionaire team or president's team member. Because sometimes we as individuals, we prejudge people with the way that they look. They might be dressed nicely, their hair might be combed perfectly, they may speak very nicely, But that doesn't necessarily mean that they will be good or bad. The best person that's dressed, the best person with the hair, the best person with the talk might be your best person. They might almost be the worst person. You don't know. Because when you come to Herbalife, you start at zero. Okay? But it also means that they could be the worst dressed person that's got the ugliest hairdo with the worst looking clothes and that doesn't do everything quite right, that maybe is so appreciative of what they have here with these bottles and these opportunities that they do the most talking, and it's the people who do the most talking that get the biggest checks. Because the more people you talk to, the more people that you're going to get in. And the more people that you get in, the more people you're going to have at supervisor. And the more people that you have at supervisor, the more chances you have of getting people at the world team, the get team, the mill and prez. So it's he who talks the most or she who talks the most gets the most.
10 people a month. I did 20 a month when I got started. I led the pack. But 10 people every single month, first line. And here's the best thing that you need to get going. If you guys will concentrate, okay, if this is you, okay, if you'll concentrate on getting your first level and your second level and your third level, and then you go down deep to your fourth, fifth, and sixth, and get these guys all making 2,500 in volume points, okay? So everybody got this? Okay? Here's what happens, okay? If this guy does 2,500, 5% of that, write it down in your notes, is 125 bucks. Your second guy, if there's doing 2,500, that's another 125 bucks. Now, this is very important what I'm teaching you. You do this, you're going to get seriously rich. This is the basics. Your third guy over here, if he's doing 2,500, that's another 125 bucks. That means you up here, you're getting $375. And if you've concentrated on your fourth, your fifth, and your sixth, and you got these guys doing their 2,500, here's what's going to happen. Your first guy's going to get 375. Your second level is going to get 375. Your third level is going to get 375. So you're guaranteed that this is working. The worst thing that can happen now is they all drop out and these three guys come up and you're still making the same $375 you were before. Now that will make you rich. Did you guys get that? All that's got to happen is you get 10 of those, and that's called $3,750 on your royalty override check. You're almost a millionaire team member. Now, if only 2 out of the 10, write that down, $3,750. If only 2 out of the 10 become millionaire team members, that's going to be another $6,000 that you're going to be earning in royalties minimum. They're at $4,000. You usually get 75% of what they do. So that's $6,000. So that's almost $100,000 a year right there on your 3 levels. So if you had 10 first lines and only 2 of them get the millionaire team, okay, that's $200,000 a year in income by just doing that. So what do you concentrate on? Getting 10 first line every single month, okay? And then concentrate on going down line so you can make this happening with 2,500, okay, and it all happens. But it happens with the beginning of getting those first lines. Here's something else I keep in mind when I'm recruiting. I don't prejudge anybody whatsoever. Anybody. I have an attitude about recruiting. No matter who I'm looking at, I view them as the next president team member. That's my attitude. That's my attitude. My attitude is that they can get rich, period. That's my attitude. And I tell every single person that they can get rich. I tell everybody that. I paint the big dream to everybody, don't I? Now, I let them do whatever they want. But my responsibility is to let them know everything that there is. And I personally believe everybody can get rich. I personally believe that. Now, why do I believe it so much more than anybody else in this room? Because I've seen it more than anybody else in the room. Because everybody's in my organization. So I'm clear. Every kind of person I see can get rich. So when someone's hair's a little messed up, I don't see them as their hair's messed up. I see them as a president's team member. If they smell a little bit funny, president's team material. Their shirt's wrinkled, president's team material. Different kind of look on their face because of the way their eyes look, because they're slanted a different way, or they're rounded a different way, or a different color of skin. See, to me, it's all presidential material, okay? So to me, I treat everybody equal, everybody nice, everybody with respect, because you just never know. You cannot know. Now here's the next thing when you're out there recruiting. You gotta believe that they're gonna get rich. Just like the product. You know how you guys are with the product? Your attitude is when you put someone on the product that you know that they're gonna lose weight no matter what. Isn't that right? As long as they use it. As long as it's 2 shakes a day, tablets 3 times a day, okay, you know what's gonna take place. The problem with getting the attitude of everybody's going to get rich is that most of you, the products worked faster on you than getting rich did. And when you're not rich yourself, it's difficult of looking at everybody else that they're going to get rich. Well, just take and borrow from all the people that you got this last 48 hours and take their strength, okay, and put it into yourself, and then look at everybody else and look them in the eye and tell them they can get rich. And you heard it here from a lot of people. What did they say? Fake it till you make it. Keep talking about it, keep talking about it, keep talking about it, keep talking about it, and pretty soon what starts happening? It starts to actually happen.
You don't beg people to get into the business. Sometimes, especially when you're new and you're in the back of the row there, okay, and you're talking, and when you're doing it at the beginning, it's always the hardest, okay? And the reason it's the hardest is because that's when you're the brokest, and that's when your car's not looking good, and your suit's not looking good, and you're afraid that they're going to turn off the electricity at your house, and you can't pay the mortgage bills, and you're scared about paying the food for little Billy and little Sally, and everything's terrible. So your attitude's the messed up the most, okay? So consequently, you're not that strong when you're recruiting, and you're begging people to get in. Please get in so I can make some money. Most people could care less how much money you make. They only care about how much money they make themselves. That's what they care about. And let me tell you something. You shouldn't be begging them to get into this company. They should be begging you to get into this company. This is Herbalife.
You start talking about 10 a day, it's really not that difficult to do, but a lot of people don't do it. But if I told you guys that all your job was to bring to me, okay, over the next 5 years, all right, over the next 5 years, that all you had to give to me was 180 supervisors, no matter what, okay? No matter what happened or anything else, you bring me 180 supervisors into the company, and I will personally write you a check for $4 million. How many people would do that? Now see, I will write the money. All you got to do is bring them in. See, the hard part is employing yourself enough. Okay, see, when you guys had your regular jobs, they told you what to do, all right?
Whatever job it was you had before you came to Herbalife, they said, this is your job. You have to do this, and you have to do that, and you must have it done at 5 o'clock, okay? Here's what your job is in Herbalife, okay? Talking to people about the product. That's your job, okay? And your job is talking to people about the business. And if you look at it, that your job is 10 people on the products and 10 people about the business, you will make this kind of money. You just have to fantasize about it a little bit, about the other stories of people who have made it, so that you can get yourself excited enough so you make the first step, okay? Because we talked a little bit about that. Getting started is the hardest part. Let me tell you where the most difficult part of all of Herbalife is for everybody, although it's going to be a lot easier now that we've got the 10-10-10 coming back to the home office. It's from getting from ground zero, your check to 1,000 points. That's your most difficult part, because by the time you got your 1,000 points and your 2%, which gives you another couple of thousand, and you got your retail that's giving you a couple of thousand, and now you're making $5,000 a month, it becomes a little easier to be excited and be confident to talk to people that believe in you because of how strong you become, okay? And that's the most difficult part. Getting to Millionaire Team is a breeze, okay? I'm telling you, I know it's very difficult to understand this, okay? But it's easier making $1 million a year than it is getting to that first $1,000, okay? Because you're doing the same things to get to $1 million as you are 1,000. You just do it more times to get to $1 million. And while you're getting there, it's funner because you're making money on the way. The worst part is when you're doing all the grunt work and you're doing all the stuff and you're not seeing results as fast as you want them to be, and it's discouraging and it's disheartening and things aren't happening. But it will happen. It will happen. If you do it, it will happen. You just have to do it long enough. You've seen enough people between the stage and what we're going to show you today that your time will come. All you have to do is put in the effort and the work. Your time will come. I'm telling you, your time will come.
The game of Herbalife is just, it really is a game, okay? Because all you're doing here is you're trying to sponsor enough people a month. This is just a plan, okay? You can make it smaller, you can make it bigger. But your goal is to try to sponsor 2 hot people a month. And then here's what I want to do with these people. I want them to go to the Who Do You Know list and make up 100 people of all the people that they know. That's what I want to have happen. That doesn't happen, then my second choice is the button. They don't want to do the button, flyers is the next one because it's the cheapest. Next thing after that could be an advertisement. But my worst thing is to have them do an ad, because an ad's going to cost some money, and we don't want people investing in money and so on until they've made some money. So my best thing is to get them to their friends, okay? But here's what you do once you've got a hot person. What you do is you go down to the second person, and you have, let's say that this is Jerry. And Jerry, the first night that she got into the company, she said, I'd like to have a party planned tomorrow night because I could get a lot of my friends to that meeting instead of waiting 2 days from now till the Thursday meeting. I said, great, let's go. I said, who are the people? And we started making telephone calls. Now, I made some of those phone calls. Jerry made some of those phone calls. So when we got over here to Debbie, who's the house that we were at, that we were going to make the deal and stuff like that, we had 7 people at the house party, okay? And I told Jerry, now, Jerry, you got to do the product section, and I'm going to do the marketing plan section. Now, from this meeting, this, I can't remember her name, but she was like the World Sit-Up Championship. Sue, I think it is. Okay? And when we went to Sue's place, she had another place that she had that we could do a meeting. I said, now, Jerry, when we get over to Sue's house, I want you to have Debbie do the product part, and you do the marketing plan part, and I'll just tell my story at the end. Okay? And then we go down here to someone, I can't remember just right at the moment, but somebody in Sue's organization, let's call this Doug Stunts for just the example, okay? I'm trying to do this all in the qualifying month, by the way. I want to go as deep as humanly possible in the qualifying month, and I'll show you why here in a second. Now we get down here to Doug's house, and I tell Jerry, I said, Sue, you do the products. Debbie, you do the marketing plan. Jerry, you tell your testimonial, okay? And it could be anything at that point. Jerry's thing was, I got a couple of customers and already got 3 distributors, and I've been in the business only 2 days, okay? You use what you got. And then I was there to tell them what happened to me, okay? Because I was already 2 months in the business, got my checkup and so on. But my goal here is this is the first line, this is the second line, this is the third line, this is the fourth line, this is the fifth line. I'm trying to get this thing going down to 6 generations deep. Now, if I can get it farther than that, I try to get it farther than that. If I can't get the 6 levels, it's not a disaster. But my goal is to sponsor people, okay, to make it simple. Okay, write this down. I want to sponsor as many people as I can until I get 2 hot people. Hot people are defined as who? People that say, I want to do this, okay? As soon as they say that, go now.
The first thing I always tell people is let's go after your friends and your relatives, okay? What I do is I move and groove with the way that people want to do it. So if they say no, then I say, well, listen, why don't we use the button? They say, I don't want to use the button. Great. They say, well, let's use some of these business cards and go out and just start talking to people and tell them to come down to our meetings. They say, that sounds like something I'll do. And I say, great. Okay? Now, whenever I get them to say great, whether it's their friends, if they say, listen, let's go talk to your friends, they say, I'll do that. Great. Okay? Then the next thing I do is I show them what to do. And then you make them try it. And the first couple of times that they try it, they always mess it up a little bit. So here's what you do. When they mess it up, say, listen, you did great. I'm telling you, you're just so good, it's just unbelievable. But I'm telling you, if you just do this and you do that, I'm going to show you how to do it one more time, okay? And you watch how that works a little bit better, because when I do it this way and I do it that way, that's why I get this result. So then you come back and you show them how to do it again. Now you say, you see how I did that? Now try it again yourself. Then they mess it up one little piece of it. And you say, that was great. Man, I tell you, I just can't believe how good you're doing at this. Most people, it takes a lot longer. You're just unbelievable. Okay? Then you show them again. Then you get them to try it again. Then you show them again, and then you get them to try it again. Then after they've tried it enough time, pretty soon they know how to do it on their own. Now, that's what's important. Now, this is extremely important that they know how to do it on their own. Not only for them, okay, because this builds their respect and their self-esteem about how they know how to do this company and how they know how to do this business. If you live with them forever and do everything for them, they never get it themselves. And if they don't get it themselves, they won't build the character and the self-respect and the self-esteem that they need to do it on their own. Now, there's another reason why you need to have them do it on their own. Because if they know how to do it on their own, you don't have to work with them much anymore. You maybe have to do a call a month. You may have to do a little bit of tour every once in a while and visit a few of their meetings and stuff like that. Okay, but once they know how to do it on their own, now you can do the most important thing that you need to do to follow the Herbalife game, which is to sponsor another 10 people so you can get another 2 hot people to work with so that you can do the whole process again. Because it's only through this process that you can build it wide enough so you've got enough chances to get people on the world team and to get people to the GET team and to get people to the millionaire team and eventually to the president's team. Because in our business, unlike other businesses, this doesn't work where you're in a company where as you build up the ladder
everybody's scared to death because they may lose your job because you're getting so good. In Herbalife, it's great. The better your people do, the better you do. Isn't this great? They get rich, you get rich. Isn't that great?
Duplicate. You got to show your people how to retail. Write these things down. I'm giving you the stuff that got me rich. You got to teach them how to recruit. You got to teach them how to do a meeting. You got to get them and show them how to do a training. You got to get them and you got to show them how to do conference calls. You got to show them how to do an organizational meeting. And then we'll take over from there and help them get to the corporate schools. And then I'll make sure that they know how to do the chairman's classes, the extravaganzas, and the summit. And I'll do that for you. Training them how to do it will make you a fortune. So I was sitting there and I was showing them what to do, then I was getting them to do it. Then we would go out and we'd start the little opportunity meetings and stuff like that. And I'll never forget, Leslie Stanford was in the organization, and she said, listen, you know, I got all these people up in Canada that want to do the business and stuff like that. And so as I was showing Leslie what to do and how to answer the phones and how to do the stuff and all that, then she knew how to do it. Okay? Now you've duplicated yourself. And she went up there to Canada. She started showing people what to do and getting them to do it. And then what would happen is once somebody that I had a little group somewhere else going, okay, I started promoting the business. Write that down. And I gave them a little goal to go for. Some people ask, well, how did you build it around the world? I'm telling you right now. It's going to make a lot more sense as we go through this over the next couple of days, but this was the beginning of it. Leslie said, well, listen, you know, I need you to help me out and come up here and do some meetings for me and stuff like that and do one of the training classes. I said, great. I said, what we're going to need you to do is get 100 people and do $20,000 worth of business, and I'll be up there to do one of your Saturday training classes. Now, why did I want her to do 20,000? Okay, one reason is so it could get me 5%, which would pay me $1,000, which would pay for my airplane ticket to get me up there. Remember, I was broke. Now, serious. So I had to have a plan, okay, to get me up there, okay. If you would have known me back then, you would have thought I was the richest guy in the world, okay. But I needed something to give them the chance to say, listen, here's our goal, here's what we got to do, let's pour it on, let's hit it.
Why did I do opportunity meetings, okay? I could have set people down one-on-one. Would that work? Of course, okay? One of the great things about Herbalife is anything will work, okay? The question is how fast it works, how quick it works for you, and more importantly, how quickly it works for the people that you get in, okay? And so I was always interested in fast, okay? So the opportunity meeting was set up for me to invite people all day long and get them down to the opportunity meeting, and that way I could do all 8 or 9 people that I had gotten during the day that came to the opportunity meeting. I could pitch them in 1 hour instead of spending 7 hours to do it, okay? And so that was really the goal. The second reason why I like doing it at the opportunity meeting is that's where I had my testimonials and my other people that had their incomes. Not that my testimonial wasn't impressive enough and my income wasn't impressive enough, but see, I'm not enough, and I know that. You see, what you want to have in an opportunity meeting is as many people as humanly possible talking, okay? And that's why I'm not doing all this meeting completely by myself. That's why we have other people talk about doing the retail. That's why we have other people doing the recruiting. That's why we're going to bring up the Get team. That's why we're going to bring up the Millionaire team, because the more people that you can hear from and the more different backgrounds you hear and the more different circumstances and where they were and where they came from and what their first month's income was and what it is now, the more eyes that you can see, the more somebody, okay, and there's going to be somebody today that you're going to see that you're going to say, hey, if that person can do it, I can do it. And that's the most important thing that can happen to you in Herbalife. And you never know when that's going to be. It's probably going to be here today. But if it doesn't happen here today, it could be the next STS that you go to. You just never know, okay? But here's the elements of what makes the opportunity meeting exciting, okay? Because a lot of times people get very confused and start thinking that the opportunity meeting is only good if you have someone that's great at doing opportunity meetings, okay? Now, is it great if someone's great and entertaining up on the stage doing an opportunity meeting? Of course, okay? But can someone who's not very good be great on the stage also, as long as they're making some money? Absolutely, okay? And so we're going to show you how that works here, because this will make your next, Saturday? This will make your next Tuesday night meeting more exciting. All the person that's supposed to do that comes up here, let's say we're just going to do a real quick opportunity meeting right now, okay? All we're going to do is we're going to tell the Mark Hughes story, and then I'm going to talk about the products, and then I'm going to do testimonials. And remember that this is going to take me 25% of my talking, and 75% of the meeting is going to be given by the audience, okay? Because the audience is the biggest one who actually does the meeting, not the person on the stage. The person up on the stage is just there to set up enough information so he can get the testimonials up on the stage, because the testimonials is what really sells the products. On the marketing plan, I've heard people that say it's an incredible marketing plan, it's just unbelievable, you make 40%, you get royalties, 72% on the retail, just unbelievable, let's have all the testimonials, come on up, okay? And I've heard people even do less than that. It's unbelievable the money that we make, and let's just have everybody stand up and come up, okay? And I've also seen people that do a lot of circles and squares and so on. It really doesn't make any difference which one you do, because long story short, they're not going to understand it anyway when you do your very first meeting, by the way. They're not going to understand it until they get around and, you know, filling out their very first paperwork and putting the percentages to it and having to get out their checkbook, okay? So in the marketing plan, say a little, say a lot, but just make sure it's 25% here, 75% is on the testimonials. And after that, you stop talking. Okay, because one of the things I've seen with people is, you know, they feel like they got to just keep going on and on and on, right? And then after the meeting's over, then that's really bad is the supervisor, they try to do a whole meeting all over again. You know what I mean? It's time to stop at a certain point. We just got to tell the products, marketing, testimonials, marketing plan, testimonials, you want to do this or not, okay? Then the next day, get lots more people in, okay? Got to make it quick, okay? Because what your goal is to talk to as many people as you can so you can get your 2 hot people to start working downline.
You got to get up and do meetings. Every single person in the room, you guys got to learn how to do meetings. If you're not doing meetings, you got to know how to do meetings, period. Okay? That means you guys, every one of you guys in the back, all you girls in the back, you got to get up and do meetings. Do the products, do the marketing plan, do the clothes, the whole thing. You got to know how to do it all, okay? If you want to get up here and get like me, you want to get like the Chairman's Club members down here, you want to get like the President's Team members, okay? They all know how to do meetings, okay? And so you got to know how to do the meetings. We're not going to go through what's happening in the meetings. You guys know what to do, okay? Here's what you do to do a meeting. Do one. You know what? Do one, okay? And then if you don't do it so good, do another one. And if you don't do it so good, do another one. Trust me, you'll get good at it if you do it enough times. You won't keep getting up there and being a flop, trust me. You'll do it better and better and better. You got to learn how to do trainings. If you don't know how to do a training, easy. Go to one of the trainings, listen, learn, and then do one. Listen, learn, and then do one. See, you don't really got it in your mind until you're doing one. Okay? You're listening to it, you're absorbing it, okay? But it's going in one ear and out the other until you got to get up there and actually say the stuff. When you say it, you're going to know it. So you got to take responsibility for yourself first and get excited about what's happening to you, and that will excite other people. Because you have to match your pitch. If you're saying something and you are not matching the pitch, okay, then it's no wonder people don't believe so much. And again, I'm not trying to say it's got to be all at once. Here's the most important thing. Write this down. You got to make some progress, okay? Little by little by little by little, so that you can keep yourself excited. I'm not any big speaker like Jim Rohn. I don't know how to talk to you about personal growth. Here's all I know is practice makes perfect. You listen, you learn, you try, you fail, you try, you fail, you try, you fail, you try till you get better, you try till you get perfect, and then you try again until you're better than that. And then the last one is you never get satisfied with how good you are. You're always better the next time. That's all I know about personal growth. There's not a meeting that we're going to do that's not going to be better than the next one. Isn't this the best summit you've ever been to? Huh? Huh? And trust me, the next one's going to be unbelievable. Because there's not ever going to be a meeting where we're satisfied enough. They're always going to be better, and we're always going to be doing it in more incredible, and it's going to be always unbelievable than the last one. That's the way it's got to be if you want personal growth. That's all I know about personal growth. It's got to be better. That's all I know. Got to be better than the last one. If you want things to get better, keep improving yourself. And that means for all you guys. That means for all of you guys. You want to get bigger? You got to become bigger yourself. So you don't just go group go, go group go. You keep going yourself. And let me tell you, it will go. How do you keep inspired? I can't remember who said it in the meeting and stuff like that. It was Alan Lorenz, okay? He says, the way I keep inspired is from the new stories. New stories meaning he's getting new retail. Stories meaning he's getting new distributors. Stories meaning he's getting new supervisors. When that's happening to him, he keeps inspired. But if you just keep trying to squeeze your organization into $1 million without keeping inspired yourself by the own amount of retail you do, the own amount of recruiting you do, the own amount of supervisors you're breaking, then you're trying to squeeze your organization into $1 million by telling them, you guys do it, I don't got to do it. Can you make a little bit of money that way? Yes. Can you even make a lot of money that way? Yes. It's even worse when you're making a lot of money that way, and then all of a sudden you go on no-go mode. And you just tell your group, go, you gotta go, you gotta go. And in the beginning, you went yourself. And then pretty soon all you're doing to your group is saying, go, 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 and that makes you more money. Go, 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 and that makes you more money. And pretty soon for the next couple of years, that's all you're doing is saying, go, 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 go. And pretty soon you start getting dissatisfied. And pretty soon you start saying, I wonder why my check's not going up, and I wonder why it's not growing, because you can only get so much out of your group. Your group at some point is going to kind of get to where they want to be. And go, 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 you can't squeeze any more out of it. So if you want to get some more out of it, you got to become more yourself. And that means constant retailing, constant recruiting, constant breaking supervisors. Because here's another thing you got to do every year. Write this in your notes. Replenish that you lose. You are going to lose a certain amount of people each year. You are. No matter how successful you are, no matter how big your check's getting, no matter how big it's getting, every year you start over at the beginning, and you've got to replenish a certain amount of people that you lost to stay even. And then if you want it to get bigger, you've got to do more than that the following year just to make it become more. So don't get into a mode here of only go, go, go to your group. What you do is go, go, go on yourself.
Treat all of your people great, okay? Including the ones that said no, by the way. Because they may be the one that you see 3 years from now, okay, that says, you know, I met you and you treated me terrible. Or they say to you, you know, I saw you about 3 years ago and you treated me real nice. What's happening with that Herbalife business? It's doing incredible, man. When I met you, I know I was only making about $2,000 a month, but now I'm making $450,000 a year, and it's just gotten unbelievable. And let me show it to you again, because it's gotten a lot better since then.
You're going to have to sit your family down and talk about your commitment. You're going to have to get the whole family bought in on the program, okay? And discuss it and agree. You're going to work this much. You're going to play this much. This is what it's going to mean if you do this. Okay, if I work this hard, here's what we might get. Okay, and keep your commitments. Okay, and that may have to be refined from the day you start to the time you can become a GET team member. It may have to be refined. And when you become a millionaire team member, it may have to be refined. And when you get to the president's team, it may have to be refined. And then when your spouse sits there looking at you as a president's team member, and your burning desire is to go for chairman's club, okay, and they're getting on your nerves because they don't want you working like crazy to get to the chairman's club, okay, you're going to have one of those little sweet talks. You do everything that you can to make yourself look more impressive to your group so you match the pitch. So here's what I did. The first thing I did was I bought some new clothes. Wasn't that great? Wasn't that the greatest place? But it was the greatest place I could get that would make me look the best so that what I was pitching would match with the clothes I was wearing. You got it? So for those of you brand new, I remember Jerry, we sent her down to the Goodwill store, and she bought her silk dress for $2 to make herself look better at the meetings that she was given. Okay? So it may have to start way down at the bottom. We didn't get this way by being what you're seeing here today. Okay? This thing started out with a little white jacket and those little black pants. Okay? Okay? And then from there, I got my first car. I'll never forget driving up in that El Dorado. Remember that? And then it made everybody sniff the seats. Seriously, I brought all my supervisors in and I said, sniff the seats, man. This leather is cool, baby. Then the next thing I did was I got a better apartment. A better apartment. Okay? Wasn't a house, it was an apartment. A better apartment. That's where I started. A better apartment. Then I got my very first condo. Never forget my very first condo. Smaller than my bathroom at Gray Hall. Seriously. Can you believe that? Wait till you see my bathroom. It's unbelievable. Okay? And then you may decide you want an office, and then you go for your very first house, and then maybe you go for your first mansion, and then maybe you're getting your holiday house. Attitude's great when everything's going great. Of course, it's easy to have a good attitude then. When you got to have a good attitude is when things are not going good. When things are going bad. You know, I can remember back in the beginning, I talk about Don Greneau all the time. Don Greneau was my best guy, okay? And, you know, first month, 6,000. Second month, 12,000. Third month, 18,000. I was counting on this guy to make things happen. Boom, he's out of the business. Okay, and along with it, what happened? All the people went with him. Okay, and what happened to my meetings? Went from 60 down to 20. Okay, how did you think I felt back at that time when we didn't have any literature, we didn't have any journals, we didn't have nothing going on? Okay, we had just a couple of bottles. Okay, and my only guy that I was counting on to really make things happen left. How do you think Mark Hughes really felt? Terrible. Put in your notes. I felt bad. Now, I've signed the guy up 3 times. And I felt bad all 3 times. I'm telling you, I'm going to get him a 4th time one of these days. He's going to be one of these days. I don't know how many times it's going to take us, but we're going to get him sometime. But anyway, I felt terrible about it. 1985 came along. The FDA hit us like an atomic bomb, okay? And it was a very lonely situation when this thing happened. I mean, if you could have just imagined what was going on behind the scenes with this thing, it was unbelievable, because the attack wasn't just so much on the vitamin industry. It was an attack on Herbalife, okay? Because we were the big ones. We were the big target. I mean, in that FDA Senate hearings, there was 400 companies in there, okay? And 399 of them got 2 hours, and I got 1 day in 6 hours, okay? And the night before, I'll never forget this, we were up in the top room of the Hyatt house, okay? And the Hyatt looked directly across at the Senate building, and they had called us up, and they said, listen, Mark Hughes is not allowed to have any of his lawyers in the room, and he's not allowed to have any of his doctors in the room. He needs to come there alone. And there I was, 27 years of age, with no medical degrees, with no lawyer degrees, with no answers that were supposed to be happening in the testimony, and I was going to be sitting here in front of these senators looking like an idiot 24 hours a day on national television. And I'm sitting there scared to death, scared to death. And I'll never forget, and it was Paco Perez that reminded me of this. He was my very first employee. I got Paco in the company, and yeah. Where's Paco? We were talking the other day, and he reminded me of this. He came up into my suite, and he said, listen, Mark, he says, what do you think's going to happen? I said, you know, Paco, I have no idea, but I know one thing's for sure. If we tank, tomorrow I'm going to open this thing up, and you're going to be the first guy I'm going to hire back in the company. And we're going to do it all over again. Sometimes you're the only person that believes in the person that you sold the product to at all, okay? And we have to remember that. We're there in the shopping mall, and someone's seen our button. They bought all this product, okay? They're all jacked up about using it, okay? And they're very enthusiastic, all to go home to their negative relatives, okay? And now their negative relatives are beating them up about the fact that they're trying a new diet again, and they've done it 10 times before, and why did you do this, and you're gonna fail, and blah, 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 blah. This is why it's so important when that telephone rings and you're on the other end of the phone while the negative spouse is giving them all this bad stuff about you're so bad and you're never going to lose and you've tried everything in the world and why did you spend our money and this and that and the other thing. It's that phone call. It's that phone call that you make and you say, Mary, how's it going? And she says, it's going terrible. My husband's telling me I'm no good and I've used everything and I'm never going to lose the weight and he can't stand it because I spent all the money that he normally gets his beer with, okay? And you say, now listen, Mary, get a grip, okay? I'm telling you something. Go in, I don't care what your lousy husband says, go into that cupboard and take that can out of there and open it up and get it in the glass and drink 2 shakes and take those tablets. And I'm telling you, you're gonna lose weight. You're gonna lose weight. You're gonna lose weight. I'm telling you, you're gonna lose weight. See, this is why I took the diet and did not put it on television. So many people ask me, why don't you have this in stores? Why don't you have this on TV? Why we don't have it in stores is very simple. Go down and buy something in the store, okay? And remember something, most people on weight loss programs get off because people are picking on them or they've lost weight before and they're constantly losing their confidence, okay? Or maybe they're just going along for the week and things are starting to happen, but on Sunday night they got to go to a big thing with their family and they eat a bunch of cheesecake and stuff and they feel like they failed, so they quit, okay? And so why we don't sell it in stores? Because when you buy something at the store, does the store owner call you back up and say, how are you doing? You're going to make it? Go, 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 go? No, that's not going to happen from the store. And it's not going to happen from the TV set. That's why we don't do it this way. You guys are the customers' cheering squad that keeps them on track until they get enough confidence that they make enough progress, that they believe in themselves, so that they finally start doing it for themselves and taking it every day. Because in the beginning, they may be just using it for you, okay? And you keep pushing them. But once they get enough confidence that they're losing weight, they finally start saying, I really got a handle on myself. I'm gonna take this stuff until I lose all my weight. And then they keep taking it and they lose all their weight. Sometimes some of the worst things in your life can be some of the greatest things that ever happened to you. Seriously. Seriously. A friend of mine always told me, he says, if the experience doesn't kill you, you'll be a better man for it. Here's all I know what to do. You work hard when it's easy, and you work twice as hard when it's not easy. That's all I know what to do. Doesn't sound like real big advice, okay, but that's what I did. When the FDA happening, let me tell you something. I was working harder than I've ever worked in my entire life. I was working the FDA problems. I was working like crazy. So what do you do to overcome adversity? You work twice as hard. That's what you do. You get out and you make it happen.
It's not who and what you are today that's important. It's what you can become in the future that's amazing. Okay? And if you have the desire to want to learn, and you have the desire to want to grow, and if you have the desire to want to be and have a better life and to be a better person, you can do it.